Hey everyone! Today I'm diving into a hot topic that's been making waves across the globe: President Trump's tariffs and their potential to spark a global trade war. Buckle up because this one's a roller coaster. So, what's the deal with these tariffs? President Trump announced massive tariffs on goods from dozens of countries, branding them as reciprocal. The idea was to match what other countries charge the United States, dollar for dollar. Sounds fair, right? Well, not so fast. Turns out, the Trump administration's method for calculating these tariffs isn't quite what it seems. Instead of meticulously matching each country's tariff schedules, they took a more, let's say, creative approach. Here's the formula they used. They took the country's trade deficit, divided it by its exports to the US, and then multiplied that by 1/2. That's it. Let's break it down with an example. In 2024, America's trade deficit with China was a whopping $295.4 billion. The US imported $439.9 billion worth of Chinese goods. So China's trade surplus with the US was 67% of the value of its exports, a figure the Trump administration labeled as tariff charge to USA. But here's the kicker: it wasn't a tariff at all. Mike O'Rourke, a chief marketing strategist, pointed out that these so-called reciprocal tariffs were actually targeting surplus, not actual tariffs. This means the policy is focused on nations with large trade surpluses, relative to their exports to the US. This simple yet flawed calculation could have broad implications, especially for countries America relies on for goods and the global companies that supply them. Imagine the ripple effects on supply chains and profit margins of major multinational corporations. Critics argue that these tariffs could backfire, leading to higher prices for consumers and job losses in certain sectors. Countries like Canada and the European Union have already vowed to retaliate with their own tariffs on American goods. And let's not forget China, which has promised a firm response. The potential for a full-blown trade war is real, and could have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. The World Trade Organization has even warned that these tariffs could lead to a downward spiral of protectionist measures, harming global economic growth and undermining international cooperation. So, what does this all mean for you and me? If these tariffs lead to a trade war, we could see higher prices on everyday goods from electronics to clothing. And for businesses, especially those relying on global supply chains, the impact could be severe. In conclusion, while the idea of reciprocal tariffs might sound appealing, the reality is far more complex and potentially damaging. As always, stay informed and keep an eye on how these policies play out. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global economics. See you next time.